Hello and welcome back to In Defense of the Traditional Martial Arts. I just want to talk about how I can predict the future. I know I'm a bit late, the sound quality is probably not going to be as good, but I've been working crazy hours this week. But yeah, I can predict the future. In my last video, I was talking about how I'd like to see traditional martial arts out proving themselves. And there's a German-based channel, Defense Fight Club or Defend Fight Club. I'll put the link up in the description, and they're putting on a lot of style v style fights, and there's one in particular I want to talk about who's a Wing Chun practitioner, so let's take a look.
Schauen wir mal. Ja, Frontkick von Eddie, versucht ihn.
So from that little clip, what I can tell is that Wing Chun guy, who's the guy in white, the older gentleman, he's at least used to sparring. And the MMA fighter that he's going up against, I could tell that he's quite inexperienced. So it's not really a fair reflection of like how effective is Wing Chun against MMA per se. But as I always like to point out to people when they start talking about how much better MMA is than other martial arts, that, you know, not every MMA fighter is UFC level.
Oh, schöner Treffer von Elder.
Now, what we see here is what I've commented in the past about a lot of traditional martial arts, is that when they'll spar in class, you get into this kind of tappy thing. And I think that's evident here, where he doesn't really know how to deal with an actual hard hit. There's no taking the head off the centre line, there's no covering up, there's just a big exaggerated like pulling your head back, which is something I still do now myself, so I can't criticise too much. Let's carry on.
Eddie gut zum Wackeln gebracht. Jetzt baut Elder eindeutig mehr Druck auf.
So again, I don't think they're massively mismatched at this point. The MMA fighter's certainly getting the better of the strikes when they come, but it's not as if he's massively dominating, and it's not as if he really looks like he's hurting him. It's more that our Wing Chun fighter is just inexperienced in really absorbing full-on shots.
Getroffen wird, darf dann nicht zurückgehen halten. Muss dann weiter Druck nach vorn machen. Jetzt hat es einmal versucht.
So here we see Wing Chun guy using some Wing Chun like fighting techniques, where he's deflecting one of the strikes with his back of his right hand, and then he's going in for an attempted chain punch, which doesn't quite come off. But again, I think it's more because he's used to tappy sparring rather than full on. But you know, could be wrong.
Schöne Linke, schon wieder getroffen. Macht Elder sehr schlau, ne?
And again, I like what he's doing there. He's trying to use his Wing Chun. He tries to intercept a punch. He comes off worse for it. He receives a much stronger shot than he dishes out. But you know, it's actual Wing Chun he's trying to use there. And then again, he tries to go in for a chain punch, which doesn't quite come off. But you know, he's not out of his depth, and it's good to see.
Aufgebaut, nicht den Nahkampf zugelassen. Oh, richtig schöne Linke.
So I don't think that was an actual knockdown. I think it's more because when he gets hit, he kind of panics. He's seen the hit coming. He's tried to back out of the way, and he's just moved over his own centre of gravity. He's lost his footing, and he's gone down. But let's take another look. So the hit definitely helped him on his way down. You know, it shocked him, but like I say, I don't think he's too hurt. I don't think it's not as bad as it looks, in my opinion.
Eddie am Boden. Mal gucken, was jetzt am Boden passiert. Elder ein bisschen zu nah mit seinem Kopf an den Füßen. Ja, da hat Eddie auch schon einen Abkick versucht. Elder müsste jetzt eigentlich hinterher, ne? Er müsste eindeutig mehr Druck machen rein. Jetzt macht er ein bisschen mehr Druck. Schön rein. Unglücklich, dass Eddie da mit seinem Fuß in seiner Shorts gelandet ist. Da hat Eddie ein bisschen mehr Glück gehabt. Ja, man sieht eindeutig, dass Eddie auch ein bisschen am Boden trainiert hat.
I'm liking what he does. He's found himself on the ground. He's keeping himself safe. Again, I will point out that the MMA fighter, I don't think is that experienced, because he's dipping his head down, which puts him in massive danger of being head kicked, up kick to the head, and he doesn't pass the guard. He doesn't kind of deal with the legs. But Wing Chun fighter keeps himself safe and gets stood up.
Im Stand geht's wieder weiter. Schöner Takedown von Elder wieder. Fäuste angetäuscht, unten abgetaucht, die Beine weggezogen. Ja, hier hält Eddie seine Arme fest. Will Elder nicht erlauben, dass er sich aufrichtet, um Ground and Pound zu landen. Er versucht hier die Knie zwischen sich und seinem Gegner zu bringen.
And now we see the real danger to any traditional martial artist, which is MMA fighters finally realised I can get this guy down fairly easily, and even though he's not very experienced, like anyone with a sort of fundamental knowledge of jiu-jitsu would have been able to deal with the way Wing Chun guy was clinging on and pass into a more dominant position. But yeah, it's kind of, this is where this guy really gets into trouble.
Von ihrer Ecke bekommen haben. Elder wieder schön außen, hält auf Abstand. Schöne Combo von Elder.
So now, here we go. This is where MMA really comes into its own, even though, as I keep pointing out, he's not very experienced at all. But once you have the threat of being taken down, it opens up the striking, and the striking also then leads to takedowns, which is exactly what happens here. And yeah, the end is nigh.
Nice getimter Takedown. Mal sehen, Eddie klammert, versucht nicht zuzulassen, dass sich Elder aufrichtet, um hartes Ground and Pound zu landen. Elder versucht den Pass, zieht die Beine schön, erlaubt Eddie nicht, die Beine zwischen die Knie zwischen sich und seinem Gegner zu bekommen. Macht er sehr gut. Aber er kann jetzt keinen richtigen Side Control etablieren, weil Eddie halt gut klammert, ne, den Körper. Jetzt hat Eddie
So Wing Chun guy does really good there. Like, just with a little bit of knowledge, he would have been able to stand himself up, but he was pulling himself onto the MMA fighter, which then led to another easy takedown and back to square one.
Reingebracht. Oh, fast wäre aufgestanden, aber Elder hat ihn wieder zurückgedrückt. Jetzt bei der Side Control. Mal sehen, was Elder von hier aus jetzt machen wird. Oh, ein Hammerfist, aber Elder sollte jetzt zu mir am Belly gehen. Macht er auch. Schön, wenn er sich jetzt aufrichten kann er härtere Treffer landen. Schöner Ground and Pound von Elder. Eddie.
So here we have, now that Wing Chun guy's arms have burnt out, he's no longer able to hold on. MMA fighter gets to a more dominant position and it's fight over. And it's what I said, about MMA always beats like traditional martial arts, because if Wing Chun guy goes away and gets some like MMA knowledge, then he's no longer Wing Chun guy, he's an MMA fighter. And this is what we're seeing. I love this channel. I love watching it. Defend Fight Club, but it is basically just recreating early days of UFC. And then we've got another fight with Wing Chun guy. He's put up against, I think, a Taekwondo fighter, and like I say, it's just recreating early UFC. Let's take a look and you'll see what I mean.
Eddie will genau das verhindern, indem er in den Nahkampf geht und den Kampf eventuell zu Boden bringt. Der Kampf beginnt. Eddie nicht in der klassischen Wing Chun Stellung. Schöner saftiger Low Kick von Felix. Oh, Eddie verkürzt die Distanz, Fußfeger direkt zu Side Control. Springt einfach rüber zum Mount. Hartes Ground and Pound.
So, Taekwondo guy gets taken down. Wing Chun guys, he's had his experience of being taken down himself. He's got an early takedown against Taekwondo guy. It's early UFC all over again. And I've noticed it with a lot of Taekwondo fighters, if they come into the gym, is that they haven't got very good hips. They get taken down very easily. There's no way someone with even a rudimentary knowledge of like wrestling, my wrestling's awful, and there's no way I would have been taken down like that. But there we have it. Side control, straight into mount, and it's pretty much fight over from here.
Schon Kettenvorstöße von Eddie. Felix schlägt von unten ein bisschen, um zu zeigen.
So what I do like is Wing Chun guy is actually like using his sort of hand trapping skills to get off better shots on Taekwondo guy on the ground, and it is what I like to see. It's what I like to think I've done with my Tai Chi, is to bring like some of the skill sets I got from it into like my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA fighting techniques. And yeah, it's not long left for the fight, really.
Die meisten Schläge gehen aber hier in die Deckung, wie man sehen kann. Felix ist noch deutlich da. Sieht nicht so aus, als ob er irgendwie angeschlagen ist. Allerdings versuchen, um aus der Situation rauszukommen, sonst wird der Ref den Kampf eventuell abbrechen. Hier sieht man, dass die Erfahrung am Boden eindeutig fehlt.
And so, yeah, the fight goes on a little bit longer, but eventually it just gets stopped. I think it should have been stopped way before it got stopped. The Taekwondo guy had no answer for what was going on, but yeah, Wing Chun guy wins. And yeah, what happens from here? Does Wing Chun guy go into MMA? Does he just try and incorporate some of the stuff into his own style or what? I don't know, but props to these fighters, all of them. You know, they're out there putting their systems on the line, their training on the line, and it's good to watch. So check out Defend Fight Club. There's some good videos on there, some good fights. There's some other fights that I want to comment on in regards to, you know, how I feel they relate to traditional martial arts. And all I've got left to say is, I'm still fingers crossed that Ben Askren is going to kick ass tonight. I'm getting really confident. I'm hearing a lot of people still saying that Jake Paul's going to win, and I just feel like Ben Askren is just going to, you know, hit him with something that he's not going to be used to, the kind of real fight intensity. I might be really wrong, but seeing as how I predicted the future last week, I think I'm fairly safe here. Feel free to laugh at me when, you know, Jake Paul smashes Ben Askren tonight. Really hope he doesn't. Catch you soon. Thanks for watching.